I'll have a bonfire ceremony for my Nigerian passport. Let's talk about go for Wakanda Tech, Abby. Vibranium baby. Oh, no, serious. Alright, guys, we're in.
Every single jump, every trophy, every
Studio, mics are up.
every breakaway, every cross, every kick, every dunk, every stop, every loss, every victory, every single sport, we will be watching.
Welcome inside the locker room.
Good morning, Lagos, and welcome to Sports Conversation Inside the Locker Room on Smooth Breakfast with Valentine.
And Folu.
And joining us in the studio, as usual, for a Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, we have got Tega Onojaife. That is Tega Supreme. Good morning, Tega.
Good morning.
Exciting stuff. Great to have you here. And
Hi,
great
Tega.
to have you with us still, Lagos.
Yes, good morning. I've said it.
Okay. Don't require too much from her this time. Go over to youtube.com/smooth981FM Lagos. You'll see our gorgeous faces up there as we jump into today's sports conversation and analysis. And you can also send us messages with your comments. 0809 4440981 is the number to send a WhatsApp message to, but tweet at us using the hashtag LockerRoom981. Now let's jump into basketball news. You see Houston's James Harden and Cleveland's LeBron James are among the finalists for the NBA's MVP award. And Philadelphia's Ben Simmons and Utah's Donovan Mitchell are also among the finalists for the Rookie of the Year honor. That's what the league announced on Wednesday. Meanwhile, New Orleans big man Anthony Davis rounds out the finalists for the MVP awards, and Boston's Jason Tatum is the third finalist for the Rookie of the Year award. Finalists for other awards, well, they include Player of the Year, quite a few, but Tega, we're going to let you take us through this one.
Yes, now this year, and you see, this is my problem with when they release the NBA Player of the Year, sorry, the NBA Player of the Year or the MVP NBA Player of the Year halfway into the playoffs. It taints the voting.
Right.
Because what happens now, look, regular season, I've said it, there's no way James Harden is not taking this over everybody. But when you look at the almost hero numbers that LeBron has put up in the playoffs, you keep yourself, I'm objective, I'm not counting the playoffs, but it's there in your mind.
It's imprinted. But do you think that's deliberate, the timing? Do you think the timing is deliberate?
I don't know. At this point in time, I'm beginning to suspect that it is. Because the question then is, you have that brief break period between the regular season and the playoff season. I mean, if you get to the end of regular season, you should already have the numbers of who should be finalists, and so people can start putting their votes. But once you leave it like this, with a lot of awards, I think the timing is wrong, and NBA awards included, even football awards. I think also the timing is wrong, because if you're going to be judging somebody, you're supposed to judge him on his season. The season ends in May.
Okay.
So by the time the list for the Player of the Year comes out, you're tainting the pool. It's just an awkward time to mark script, if you ask me.
Through to the poison tree.
Yeah, so that's the same reason with this. But for me here, some interesting things. I think James Harden should win it, but like I said, LeBron James and his playoff story may overshadow that. Defensive Player of the Year is Davis of New Orleans Pelicans, Davis, Joel Embiid, and Rudy Gobert. I don't know who should take that. But Coach of the Year is very interesting, because Coach of the Year during the regular season, Dwayne Casey of Toronto Raptors was fantastic, but he was fired after Cleveland swept them in the playoffs. Again, how do you judge that he was a good coach in the regular season? Because when you're looking at stats, you also have to remember that one of the other Coach of the Year is Brad Stevens of Boston Celtics, who are absolutely doing a good number on Cleveland. So, I mean, if you ask me, Dwayne Casey was better in the regular season for me than Brad Stevens. But overall, I think Brad Stevens has been a better coach than Dwayne Casey, and Dwayne Casey's been fired. So he doesn't get there's no recognition. So, which is why I say the timing of the awards is just not fair, because you cannot now give Best Coach of the Year to someone that was fired.
Yeah.
Then they'll be like, well, he was swept in the playoffs. How do you give him? So it's for me, yeah, it's timing that's the problem. But let's see how it turns out. I still think Brad Stevens may end up winning it again. And James Harden, even if he did have a shout in regular season, may have to battle LeBron. But let's see how the playoffs turn this around for them.
YG sent in a message. He says, Tega, you and LeBron, the award is for performance throughout the season. Bron only shows up in the playoffs. Harden deserves the MVP. Let's see who gets to the finals to know the MVP of that.
No. I actually say James Harden should be MVP. I said it from last season to this season. He should be MVP. I'm just saying that pool is now tainted with some LeBron performance.
Let's move on.
All right, moving on now. Former Super Eagles #1 Ike Shorunmu said that the goalkeeper selected by coach General cannot stand the pressure at the Russia 2008 World Cup tournament. In his words, Shorunmu says, we have to give the goalkeepers on ground confidence that they can do it. Actually, we too have started. We started somewhere, and they started somewhere as well. I wish them all the best to perform well for the country. Ikeme is out of it, and Vincent says he has retired. So we have to manage what we have. We have to give them the confidence to believe that they can get the job done. We have to have the belief and the confidence in our team and appreciate them. And if we rally around the team, they'll make us proud.
But he has just, look, you know what? He hasn't said anything that we shouldn't
know by now.
Self-assurance. Yes, because at the end of the day, the goalkeepers we have are the goalkeepers we have. We cannot manufacture goalkeepers, and it's too late for us to start looking for new heroes. And that's where the problem is. So whether we are confident with them look, every single goalkeeper that they've mentioned there has a problem one way or the other. Some can deal with crosses coming into the 18-yard box. Some can deal with shots taken at them. Some just have poor positioning all round, but those are the options we have.
So it's confidence in it.
So that's why he's talking confidence and character into their spirit, because
say it, you believe it.
Thank you. Fake it to make it. Wow. He has nothing else. I mean, he's taught them the tactics, but it's like, if that fails, just tell them that they are George Campo. Maybe they will believe that they are George Campo and perform like him. It's just something else. But at the end of the day, I think that that's what we have. So we have to work with it. And I've seen, look, I always said this, Valdez wasn't the greatest goalkeeper in the world. But when he played for Barcelona, it was as if he had a cape on. And part of that is what the defense did to protect him. And so sometimes you need to protect your goalkeeper. So I mean, it would be fantastic to have a goalkeeper that you trust in between the sticks, but you don't have that goalkeeper now, so you have to baby that goalkeeper. So I think it's not just down to the goalkeepers themselves. Yes, they put in their excellent performance, but I also think that defensively, don't give your goalkeeper work that he cannot do. It's like players that give Payetr back pass. I don't understand what they're doing. He's already under pressure. You're not putting him under more pressure. So don't give your goalkeeper, don't make him find himself in situations he can't handle. Do your best to protect him. Yes, they are giving them confidence. We hope that they perform out of their skins, but they are what we have.
Yeah, no, but it is important. The confidence is important. It is very important that they feel that it is possible. Well, let's keep it moving. Talk about some other athletes. British #1 Kyle Edmund has saved 7 match points before eventually losing to rising German star Alexander Zverev in the Italian Open last 16. Now, Edmund, who moved into the world's top 20 this week, well, congratulations to you. Well, he lost 7-5, 7-6 to the 21-year-old third seed, while world number 6 Juan Martin Del Potro has suffered an injury scare, retiring from his match with David Goffin. And world number 2, Rafael Nadal, cruised past Canadian teenager Denis Shapovalov 6-4, 6-1, while Marin Cilic also won. Hey.
Yeah, and here I think I'll start from Del Potro and the injuries again. And this injury is just his talent is ready, his body is not. That's just what it seems like, because when it just looks like, okay, you're getting back to form, you win one Masters, looks like you're going to push forward, and then the body now starts breaking down during clay court season. So he said they're going to do a scan today to see the extent of the injury. But again, as soon as I saw him retire, I said this was a tough one, considering his injury history. Moving to Shapovalov, like I said, the game is too scattered. It's more ambition, it's more desire than its real technique. You needed to leave it a little tiny, and Nadal is not nice. If you put a 3-year-old with a racket for Nadal to play with, he will still smash
No
A
mercy.
wicked forehand, no
For
mercy.
what? Nice for what? Go back home.
I'm telling you, so
Tell your mom I sent you.
he was just so mean. He beats the guy so bad. And whatever the confidence the guy would have had, he had to remember that he had to play something else. But Nadal faces Fonini in the next round. I think the matchups are interesting. Nadal faces Fonini. I want to see how that is because Fonini has been riding on the Italian crowd. I mean, he plays some excellent tennis, but with home court advantage, he's just been flying all over the place. So I want to see him home court favorite against Rafa Nadal, who is clay court favorite. So let's see how that pans out. And he has a history of already having beat Nadal a few times. So let's just see how that pans out.
All right. Messages before we take a very quick break. Bash from Yaba says, makes me laugh when the likes of Nadal and others are struggling on clay courts, looking to become number one. But Federer is simply relaxing at home, sipping tea, watching their game, taking notes of their weaknesses, and preparing to beat them in Wimbledon and US Open. We see. While this one is in from Chimabi Victor, he says, I totally agree with Ike Shorunmu because we cannot manufacture a new goalkeeper. All they need is to have a good defense that will protect the goalkeeper until the defense is missing. And Big T says Nigerian keepers, some are good with crosses, some are good one-on-one, some with positioning. So why don't we just merge them together and make one fantastic? Please, we have to take a break, Big T. Caution yourself. We'll be back
You're
after
watching
this.
too many movies.
It's still the locker room on Smooth Breakfast.
Did you see that thing?
What's that?
Trump says the Libyan model that is coming, she does not need visa. Why? Is it because she's pretty? I want to know. I want them to get to that story.
That's the thing for models.
He's a hoe. That's what she means. Is that what you mean? Is that what you mean to say? Hi guys.
But babe, who is Spain?
Don't be scared, love. So I'm back. All I did was maintain 100,000 naira deposit on the account.
The Nigerian League champions. We're talking about European leagues. No worries.
Russia this summer by either opening a Wema savings or ladder account with 100,000 naira, increasing your
Okay, so we do the.
balance to
I didn't people take
maintaining 100,000 naira in your account for 30 days. Don't just trim it.
Manchester, Chelsea.
Oh, you know what's going to be so dope if I win a lot of money? That'll be so nice.
Yeah, me too. Like
Please,
$5
can you do
million.
Google for me? Manchester, Chelsea. Can you do Google for me?
Manchester, Chelsea.
Manchester, Chelsea. So sweet. Pick up finally this weekend.
Now, the highest goal scorer has 31 goals. I can also verily tell you that only 2 players have been given red cards this season.
Thank you, Drew. Thank you. Open your Google app like Ichiro, search EPL, tap on stats to see top scorers, assists, and other stats. Also tap on standings to see team positions and more. It's all there with the Google app.
I can also verily tell you the top and bottom scorers.
This puff cereal is one of my
Okay,
latest
okay, do
discoveries.
Marino
The
News.
new Golden Mon Puffs. What's it really made of?
Appetite.
Marino News.
Activated maize, millet, oats, soya, and grain smart. A special blend of vitamins and iron. Got me charged up for school. Soon, every home will be all about the puffs.
That's right. Every home deserves the new Golden Mon Puffs breakfast cereal. The new Golden Mon Puffs available in 500 packs.
That'll be a good story. So after this, so who is reading next? You are reading, yeah?
Get your
After he
kids
reads this,
charged up for
Follow you
school.
read this,
What is
please.
black?
I totally
Black
forgot.
makes the rules. Black has no restrictions. With Coca-Cola Zero Sugar, black beats the price because you get the real Coca-Cola taste with zero sugar at a cool
'Cause this
89
happens.
for the 50 cl bottle. And
I
only
like
69
that girl,
for the
but I think
55
her
cl bottle.
that her
That's
spin-off
how black
Blackish is
stays.
crap. What's, I don't know her name again. The girl, the daughter in Blackish, the first daughter in Blackish. You don't watch Blackish.
It's good to be in love, but it's better to be able to pay her bride price. Love won't pay for your wedding. Download the Payday in
You're an idiot.
Love and pay for the wedding. It's true.
We're back in.
Invest right. Invest with Payday Investment. Powered by the ARM Money
Mics are up,
Market Fund.
studio.
Hi, my name is Richard Dominic, and this is Smooth 98.5.
You
Yeah,
are
it's
listening to Smooth Breakfast, I know, right?
Yeah.
Just feel like she's
Oh,
like our friend.
sweet, yeah.
Hey,
Hi.
Okay, we're gonna go back to talking sports as Tega screws up her face at us. So do continue to send us your comments on today's sporting stories. 0809 444 0981. That's our WhatsApp number. You can also tweet at us. Just use the hashtag LockerRoom981 and we'll read out your messages once we get through a few more stories.
That's right. Antoine Griezmann scored twice as Atletico Madrid. What's going on?
Then you people will be complaining about transmission.
I know.
It's not fair.
I did that on purpose.
It's not fair.
Thank you very much.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. He
So
did too.
Atletico Madrid swept aside Marseille in Lyon to win the Europa League for the third time in 9 years. Now, with manager Diego Simeone in the stand serving a 4-game ban for being sent off in the semi-final against Arsenal, Atletico repelled Marseille's early thrusts and produced a performance which has become a trademark on the Argentine. According to Griezmann, he says, "I'm very happy. I've been working to experience such a moment for many years. I left home when I was 14 for that. We will celebrate. My family is here. I do not know how to describe the finish, perhaps cold-blooded." Wow.
And that's exactly what it was. They were toying with Marseille. They allowed them to express themselves in the first few minutes. Marseille had a few chances. Didn't really look threatening, but they did get looks in on the Atletico goalkeeper. At least they can pick up the Atletico Madrid goalkeeper from a lineup. You can say that's what he looks like. That's the closest they got to the look. After that, Atletico Madrid took the ball, and every time they wanted to score, they just dominated possession, scored, gave the ball back Marseille to fool around, then dominated possession again, scored, then gave them to the ball to fool around. It's like they were toying with them, like they knew when they needed to push the extra limit. So they had that 5 minutes of press, 15 minutes of containment, another 5 minutes of press, 15 minutes of containment. Marseille just didn't. There was no point in time Atletico Madrid was not in control. There was no point in time that final looked like a contest. Atletico Madrid just they did I want to say they finished work, but let me speak English. They did a good job. so at the end of the day, I don't think, if you ask me, even regardless of the injury to Payet, I think Payet may have helped them to be a little more fancy, maybe create 1 or 2 more chances, but I don't think he would have been it would have added to them finishing any of the chances that they created. So regardless of the injury, I still think Atletico Madrid, the way they dominated, completely blitzed Marseille, and they deserve to win. So yes, they've won the game in Europa, but it's time to see this fit in the Champions League, because they've gone to the Champions League final twice and they've been beaten by the same team. Real Madrid. So what yes, we know you can win Europa, but can you win the UEFA Champions League final? I guess that's the next question for Atletico Madrid.
Can you do it? All right, let's move on now and talk about Manchester United boss Jose Mourinho, who says that his war of words with Chelsea head coach Antonio Conte is over just ahead of Saturday's final. So the pair have been involved in what we know to be a long-running feud, which started last season when Mourinho clashed with Conte after Chelsea's 4-0 win over United at Stamford Bridge, and later said the Italian celebrations were humiliating. Rather interesting stuff. And when asked about his relationship with Conte, Mourinho told Portuguese newspaper, it's okay, stretched out, shake hands, stretched out. We got bored. After the game in Manchester, I invited him to come to my office. We talked. Nothing's wrong.
That's what he's saying now. They're friends now. It's so lovely to have that. But what will be on the pitch is there's no friendship. Somebody has to salvage their season with some trophy. So they are going to play again. So even if they've made up, we expect to see another quarrel around the pitch, in or off the pitch, but there's going to be some fight. Manchester didn't do well this season, and the special one just needs one trophy to make himself feel good. It will not make him feel better about losing the Premier League to Pep Guardiola. It's not going to make him better about losing in the Champions League to Sevilla. But it's just going to make him feel good that at least there's a trophy in my cabinet. And so he's going to match this game with the desire to win. Conte, the same thing. Conte played against, I think it was Arsenal last season, and they lost. And they're in the final again. You want them to lose 2 finals back to back. Every final is now a hit. No, they have to win it. They have to win it. So I guess at the end of the day, it's going to be a really feisty, really interesting match. But this, if you ask me, in finals, I trust Mourinho more. But let's see what Conte can push up.
All right, so moving on now, we talk about Lacazette. He says Alexandre Lacazette and Anthony Martial have been left out of France's squad for the World Cup, while Dimitri Payetr misses the tournament through injury. Martial is also on standby list, along with Mamadou Sakho, Moussa Sissoko, and Kurt Zuma. Of Payetr, the champ says he was a serious candidate for a place in the 23, But for this kind of injury, it's usually 3 weeks of recovery, and there's a risk of hurting yourself again with this kind of injury. And I must give my final list to FIFA on June 4th.
Yeah, I just feel really bad for Dimitri when he went down in the game against Atletico Madrid. I just thought that looked like World Cup oval, and to be right, it was, because yes, like he said, it's a muscular injury, and in as much as you can recover in time for the tournament, you cannot guarantee that you will not pick up another one. So it's safe just to leave him out completely. But the interesting thing, people were not asking questions. You mean they dropped Lacazette? What did you people expect? Lacazette went to Arsenal and all his weaknesses were exposed. That's one. Even when he was in Lyon scoring all those goals, when he was playing under Deschamps, Giroud used to bench him. Giroud that was benching Arsenal was benching Lacazette. So ultimately, if they're going to drop anybody, they have Kylian Mbappe, they have Antoine Griezmann. Giroud gives them another choice tactically up front. They can't carry Lacazette again. It's like taking two right leg on one shoe. Oh, wow. So just, I mean, they took the best. He's on the reserve list. If someone picks up an injury, maybe if he prays hard, he will make it. But as it is, names like Lacazette and Martial getting dropped are not surprising to me. With Martial, I think it's more his attitude. If he changes his attitude to work, and I know that's asking a bit much because he feels very entitled and he has fans that make him feel entitled. If he changes his attitude to work, he can do a lot more better. He's very talented, but that attitude of I'm a prince of Monaco, you cannot go anywhere, you will drop it. So now that he's been dropped from the World Cup squad, maybe, just maybe, he'll give him a different desire and a different ambition. That's what it is.
A few messages very good. This is the furthest he's come this year. I hope he is. From Caution says, I totally agree with Ike Shorunmu. We don't have trusted hands in goal, but I also remember Ike Shorunmu basket in goal during the 2002 World Cup.
For them.
Cruz says, Tega, you put it rightly, Atletico finish shock. But someone is disagreeing with you. Sharifulu Aleke Akimbi from Lagos Island, he says, because you don't know what if Dimitri Payet was on the pitch and scored 4 goals before the end of the game? What if? And we've got no, that has nothing to do with us, please. We've got Shegun from Ikorodu who says Martial 11 goals out for Lamar that has 3 goals. Interesting. Yeah, Deschamps is biased.
No, Lamar will play other roles. He can play deeper than Martial would like to play. So they took it a notice.
And Henry says, Dear Marino, the special one, Pep has proven that he's better than you. He beat you to the league title in Spain and now in England. You guys will still meet in Italy. And Big T says, Foludi's a sports show, I beg. No talk of transmission of any kind. You just made me spill my drink. It's okay.
Sorry.
You'll be fine. Sorry. Very quickly, Jack Wilshere has taken to social media to express his frustration at missing out on the England World Cup. He said, I think it's about time I had my dirt. It goes without saying that I'm naturally incredibly disappointed to have been left out of the England World Cup squad. I felt fit, sharp and strong all season. I believe I should have been in that squad, and given the chance I could have made a real impact. However, I have to respect the manager's decision and would like to wish the whole squad all the very best for the tournament. I will always be an England fan and will be supporting the boys with the rest of the nation.
And that's what you should do. Just support the boys, because your performance this season did not help you. And that's where some of this, it boils down again to your consistency over the season. Sometimes you can be comfortable in your club. You also have to think of your national team. Would again, he has skill, he has talent, and some of his problem has been injuries. So a lot of times you don't get to see what he can really do, because it's always either just coming in from injury or going back. But again, it's also the attitude that you can display.
Because he doesn't sound like he's very self-aware of that. Because he's saying, no, I've been great all season.
Look, at Arsenal, they're comfortable. You cannot be aware at Arsenal.
It's when you leave Arsenal. No, it's when you leave.
When you come out of Arsenal, that your eyes open. Have you seen the Ozil at Arsenal and the Ozil in German squad?
They're very well taken care of.
Are they the same people?
They're very well sheltered.
They have the Ozil German squad is a lion. The Ozil at Arsenal is a chihuahua. 2 different kind of people. So
I'm so distressed, guys. I don't know why we're talking this way this morning.
I think it's time for a break.
I think it is. I actually believe you're correct, please. Rex from Shogo sent in this message. He says, reports reaching me that Arteta is likely to be Arsenal's next manager. How true is this? How true?
We'll find out
later. We'll be back. It's still the locker room on Smooth 98.1.
My name's Adesa Atoni, and you're listening to Smooth.
What are you saying?
Gums on fire.
Sorry, what happened?
I've been getting signs for days.
Oh, and you don't look
And then
at
this
it.
morning I just chewed meat.
Sorry, you just go to the dentist.
Why do you have teeth problem? Eh?
For at least 30
Go
days.
to the dentist.
We are going to read that story led us straight to Arsenal.
The way these countries are omitting players from their squad is interesting, says Daniel from Ikoku. Interesting indeed.
You have to have a complete season. Because even if you're comfortable chopping money and sitting on the bench in your club, once it comes to national team, no sense. It's a cup competition. They'll pick the person that will give them the immediate result. You don't have 38 games to prove yourself. You have 7 games.
Yes, this is Felix. I can categorically tell you that the Blues will play 3-4-3 and not a 4-4-2. And Fabregas is not in the starting 11. This is the latest team news categorically. Mr. Felix, thank you very much. Thank you. Open your Google app like Felix. Search here, tap on the fixture.
Yeah, it's just amazing how black people manage to get color on their skin and white people put more color on their skin.
You just need to find the one that's good for you in this life.
Coca-Cola Zero Sugar. Black beats the price because you get the real Coca-Cola taste with zero sugar at a cool 80.
My friend asked me that said, so that means there's a lot of fornicating up and down. Based on this equity registry problem. Lagos State tweeted, Gum the money. I said this as today said, what did today put? He said there will be
with gnashing of teeth and rejoicing, depending on
Yes, now imagine people have been having marital problems when they hear this, they pick it out of context.
They'll be like, well, bitch, it's like I was never married. Freedom!
No need for the
It's not long.
No.
For everybody, I was just gonna rectify the matter.
You cannot press the toothpaste from the middle. I'm done.
That's all.
Not fair.
I'm done. Almost I just confused by the whole thing.
Assurance PLC.
I'm so fast. I'm so amused.
But can't we sue that we thought we were married?
You probably could. You probably could. And the last this is about money, because that's what the local governments are interested in. They're like, money. The Korean have been taking our money since, but we got you. Like, we got you.
Shopping in Lagos is no joke. The other day, I wanted to buy a bag.
We're back in 20 something seconds.
Because I like your face. Oh, yeah, last price. Thank you.
Some messages are pouring.
So we read a few messages and then mention the Lacazette.
I tried to get a refund.
If people don't want to mention my fine man Gianluigi Buffon, such a delicious looking fellow.
Oh, he is.
You don't see, especially as I'm just every time I just see my suit, I'm like, oh, you just see. Because I wrote
sweet boy.
Studio.
Right now.
Yes, Johnny, we absolutely love him here. We love a number of people here on Smooth. Some people are jealous in the studio, but we won't address that issue just now.
Yeah.
We've got a few messages coming in to the locker room right here on Smooth Breakfast with Valentine and myself.
Folu.
And in the studio with us, we've also got Tega Supreme, Tega Onojaife. Messages coming in. Daniel from Costume says, the way these countries are omitting players from their squad is interesting. While Zeus from Lekki says, I think Jack Wilshere's drop off from the England squad isn't right. Why did Ross Barkley play this season to make him on that list? What did he play? Bash from Yaba comes back to say Tega Jose didn't do well this season. When Red Devils came second, when Chelsea was supposed to be challenging City for the trophy as defending champions, serious. That FA Cup is already rigged for Jose. After Fabregas said that he loves Jose, Conte wants to go out on a high so that he can say that he had 2 successful seasons in Chelsea. That man now only. Wow. Bash from Yaba. Okay. While Morgan says if Europa League final was still being played now, Marseille would still have scored any goal. They were taught that football is a craft. And those of you deleting messages, just say it with your chest. Don't delete the message. Just say it. Tega says, leave Arsenal. We are punishing Folu now. Don't mind that. Very wicked friend. And Tony Ayo from Ayobo says, in as much as we agree that Anthony Martial's attitude proclaims laziness, we can't just throw away his magical talent during special games. The French coach just hit a low point.
Let me just tell you, look, with national teams, with clubs, you have 38 games to prove yourself, so you have the time. With national teams, at best, you may have only 7 games. I mean, you have only 7 games to the trophy. you don't have time for players that will need warming up and cajoling and flowers and perfume. You need players that will hit the ground running. And if a player with his attitude has shown that he needs some sweet words whispered into his ears before he starts kicking the ball, no coach is interested in that one.
And Emeka says, Tega, leave Arsenal alone. Oh. And Sharif says, Tega, you are calling my Ozil a Chihuahua at Arsenal. I will transmission you. All right. And Victor Asai says, Arteta is taking over from Wenger. At least we already know a team that won't win anything next season. Even a Pep will bleed to fix this Arsenal. Messages coming in on Twitter just to round up.
So Buffon is leaving Juve, and all the big European teams are circling almost through with signing Jorginho, and Liverpool eyeing Yaya Toure, and Arsenal still looking for a new manager. I can't wait for next season. The league is between Man City and Liverpool.
Please, I just need to know the area that Buffon is leaving, just to stop by.
I don't like the way we cannot fight over this matter.
Boy, I just need to visit just to tell him it's going to be all right.
By the way, guys, it's on the script. There's a small inscription where Folu puts sweet boy to it. I'm sorry, I called you.
Yeah, no, it's okay. I'm proud of my love for him.
Oh, yeah?
Well, he's leaving, and congratulations to him. He's going to be leaving another doubles title in Italy. So fantastic. Sad that he live with a World Cup performance at least.
Yeah, still a sweet boy. So Adeshola said they couldn't have picked Lacazette. It's like taking two right legs of a shoe. Tega. Tega's on fire, man. No, she's not. She's very big, troublesome, actually.
Anyways, I wish I could take more messages, but we're officially done this morning, actually. We're well over time. A big shout out to Tega for coming through. Tega Supreme, find out on social media, and don't forget that we are now 13 days to Ladies in Sports International.
Yeah,
there you go. Find them on social media at LIS International. The Ladies in Sports Conference is not about women, it's about sports business.
Yeah,
there you go. All right, stay with us though, because final hour Smooth Breakfast, the table that has been shook today.
We're going to overturn it.
We are shaking. We're going to be talking for a Feel Good Friday about what you would do if you discovered all of a sudden that your marriage never happened.
Wow, if she's sentenced, okay, this is the person fighting for her.
Yeah.
Because I know that in Sudan you cannot stay on leather chair. So me too. They CNN will meet you in jail.